Hi guys,
Hello.
welcome back to our channel.
Welcome back to our channel.
This is take 2. This is going to be just a little bit of questions for Stefano. What does that say?
Q&A.
For Stefano,
Q&A.
just to do the
stuff.
the little bit of questions. Now, the series that we're going to be doing is going to be in like a couple parts. So we want to answer some questions, not hardcore questions. We don't know everything. We're not doctors. We're not nurses. We're not psychologists.
You're not a doctor.
We're just people living.
You're not a doctor.
We're just people living with my chronic illnesses, and how we deal with them might not be how you deal with them, vice versa. So we're not always lovey-dovey. We have our issues, of course. Everybody does have issues, and I don't put them on the internet, but it's not always easy, is it, to deal with?
No, it's not.
You know, I mean, sometimes I personally myself feel like I'm not measuring up to be a good wife, because there's a lot of times that I just cannot do it, or I can do a little bit and then literally it takes me all day to do the dishes, and I'm not kidding. I do a little bit, I go sit down, I
Also
try.
have our good days and our bad days.
Right, and there hasn't been that many good days, I have to say. So we really do have to change the pain medication, because it's
Well,
not
that's
working.
the thing, is she's not getting the right care. I gotta say, Maine sucks for healthcare. This place sucks for healthcare. I mean,
yeah, it took so many years.
and now after the thing, it's even worse. It's like there's like, you can't see an MD.
No.
You know, for the most part, 95% of the time, you know, I'm not saying that what do you call it is really too bad, but you know, like what do they call them? The physician aide or
Physician's assistant.
and,
Sometimes you see a nurse practitioner.
So I'm not saying that these are bad people. Maybe you know, they're educated and everything like that. They just come out of school pretty much, and they're just getting a leg in the door, and you know, they're very smart people. It's just that what do you call it? Sometimes you know, you want the experience. You know, or I mean, with this particular, you know, ailment, all these ailments.
And sometimes the doctors, they're not themselves educated on certain autoimmune issues.
They're not a special. There's no specialist in it around here.
Yeah, so that's the problem. When you have one autoimmune and then another, they're fighting against each other. You just don't really have a chance, actually. You know, so your body is either always in a flare, or your body's good, but there's another auto issue happening, and it's just not easy. So what we're gonna do with this little series really is ask Stefano how he feels as a husband, and he helps take care of me. And so then the next one, I think, will be about our relationship, how we deal with it, you know, how it's affected our marriage. And then the other one is, I think we'll just do like everyday like life and stuff, you know. So today will just be a couple questions just for Stefano.
Which some stuff might be repetitious into it, because you know,
we'll lead into a different one.
But I'll try to keep the answers to a minimum of, like, you know, because I like the
Plus, Stefano is not, I have to say, Stefano is a guy's guy. He's not a sharer. He doesn't like to share his feelings, so that's kind of hard to get out of him. So, you know, he might, like, sometimes it seems like he's just answering something, but I know what he means behind it, because I'm married to him, so I know him, but other people might not. So, the first question I had for him in the first one was, how did he feel when I was finally diagnosed with, first it was Sjogren's.
Well, Sjogren's, that was a relief that we had some sort of a diagnostic, because then now we knew what was going on with that.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So
pretty much, yeah.
I guess
Home
she was,
life.
her home life was interfering with her, the thing. It's not like she wasn't doing the job. It's just that she was not in the room with us, mentally. And to me, that's something that if we're going to go through something, I need to know all the facts. I'm a facts-finding kind of person.
Yeah.
So I need to know all the facts. So that got me a little mad.
Then we went to Dr. Jackson, and that's Dr. Mubashir diagnosed me with both.
Was it Jackson? I thought we went
not
to,
Dr. Jackson, Dr. Dyke. But Dr. Mubashir, she finally diagnosed me with 2 autoimmune. She said that we had 2. She said it was Sjogren's, and that was through the blood test. And then she said I definitely had fibromyalgia. And Dr. Mubashir is not a doctor that's well known for actually diagnosing fibromyalgia. She takes it very serious.
She confirmed it, like
she confirmed
the
it.
doctor, Dr. Know-it-all was in it. I don't know. Anyway, she was I think she was an MD.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, she was.
But what do you call it? Any which way you put it, we went through a couple of doctors because it seems like anytime you get a doctor here, they leave after about 6 months, if that.
It's horrible.
You're lucky if you have the same doctor for a year here. You're lucky.
Yeah.
So the one doctor we had, actually we did have her for about a year or so.
Yeah, she was.
She did all these like pressure point tests and everything like this and all to figure out, and she was like, yeah, you definitely have fibromyalgia, but she goes, there's something else going on. So that's why she said, I'm going to send you to the rheumatologist to confirm all of this stuff.
No, I did not have a blood test for the fibromyalgia. I just had the pressure point, and all my inflammation just pointed to that. And Dr. Mubashir, she diagnosed it, which was a godsend because some people just don't. They don't. So I would have never been getting help for it.
No,
so then we went to after Dr. Mubashir, rheumatologist, we went to Dr. Dyke, and he confirmed the same thing. Fibromyalgia and Sjogren's, but he like Dr. Jackson also thought that I had lupus, because lupus and Sjogren's are cousins to each other, so they share a lot of the same symptoms, which is terrible. So, and lupus was found through the blood work,
right?
So that's how that was.
That was now.
That's now. But you know how many years it's been?
Yeah. So it's funny because that same doctor, what happened was we couldn't get an appointment with him. So we got an appointment with Dr. Jackson, and that's how she ended up going with Dr. Jackson. But then, she did see him maybe twice more.
Yeah.
But then I guess they closed up shop.
Yeah, he moved facilities.
So we just like, you know what, this is it. We're just gonna go back to Dr. Jackson. At least he's got a head on his shoulder and anything like that. He wants to invest a little bit more time into. See, that's the thing that one thing I do like about this doctor is that he'll take a little bit more time to at least listen. And if we say something or we go through something, he'll go through the whole entire thing. You know what I mean? And he'll fact find as well. It's just that he doesn't exactly have the
He doesn't have bedside manner. He doesn't, which is fine with me. You can take it or not. But the other doctor, Dr. Dyke, he was horrible. He was a horrible doctor. At first, he was really, really good. But then he had a student with him. So he was like so nice to all of his patients that day. I guess it must have killed him. And so he's like,
the next time we saw him,
he was completely different. And he's the one that said, oh, well, fibromyalgia is just a nuisance pain. And you'll never get better, and there's really nothing you can do for this pain. Nothing. So, and Maine is very strict on opioids, so they don't like to give them to you. So that's where I'm having a problem with my pain. It's because of this state. So
you really can't.
Yeah.
You can't get nothing from pain.
No, and pain management is more or less like not going to help with flare-ups and joints and stuff. I mean, they say it does, moving does, but it's very painful to actually move. And if you have nothing for pain, how are you going to get it? I just flip-flop between all of it. So, you know,
Flip-flop.
but that is, that's just like, it's so hard. You have to advocate for yourself. Like Stefano, he'll go in there and he'll ask so many questions because he wants to know. Like, you know, some of the malaria medication and some of this other medication I've been on, and he'll ask the details. And so he knows more than I do sometimes because I just hear the one thing and I'm stuck on that. I can't get past
I like
that.
that's what I said. Like I like the facts. I want to know what she's gonna feel. I want to know what it's gonna, you know, if the medicines are gonna jive with certain vitamins or
Oh yeah.
something like this. You know, it's like I want to know if there's gonna be anything she eats that's gonna set her off in a different kind of way and stuff like that. So you know, it's like you really need to know these things. So you know, if you don't know, if you don't ask, you're not gonna know.
Right.
You got to get in there and you got to be aggressive. I do the same thing for myself, even worse. You know, so it's like, you know, I need to know.
Yeah.
So it's just a, you know.
Yeah. Well,
So.
you don't go to the doctors that often, no. He doesn't. He actually should go. But it's one of those things where if you don't advocate for yourself or your partner, you know,
Well,
the person you're with, no one's going to advocate for you.
Doctors for me, I don't know.
Some of them are really, really good, and then some of them are really, really bad.
If you're way by the book and you're not thinking outside of the box, you know, and you can't tell me something like it, I don't know. You know, like 95% of the people I know are you know, 10 to 20 pounds overweight, let's say, right? But have big muscles or whatever, you know, big structured people. You know, not exactly fat, but you know, structured people. All right, and it's never accounted for that. Like back, you know, even when I was working out when I was young, you know, they'd be like, "Oh, you got to lose weight, your BMI." It's like, you know, what BMI? It's like, you know,
they've never once told me to lose weight, never.
You know, but I'm talking about, you know, that's what I'm saying is like that's the mentality of the doctor.
Well, years ago, doctors used to.
You know, it's like.
When my doctor, when I was in Pennsylvania and I was first going through all this, the doctor told me to lose 20 pounds. He said, you'll feel so much better when you lose 20 pounds. I lost 20 pounds and I did not feel better. In fact, I was worse because my joints were inflamed all the time. And my one friend, she said, what? It's good rain?
Big bird up there.
Oh, I didn't see it. I don't know. Look at all those birds. They look like vultures.
They probably are.
No, they were crows. They were big, gigantic crows. But my one friend, she had fibromyalgia for years and years. And she's like, you know, that's the same thing I was going through. And but when I went to tell my doctors in Pennsylvania, they didn't want to hear about it. They did not. Nope, you're just tired. You're overworked. You're tired. You know, because then my kids were all home. Oh, you're just like overworked because you're mom and you do this. It was always an excuse, and it was never. They would never diagnose me. They would never look into anything. So now we have chronic fatigue syndrome. I mean, that's a big thing. So, but I don't know. Like, how do you feel about? I know somebody did ask me a question a while ago. Do I use my illnesses to get out of doing anything? And that was one question that you answered in the last video we did. So how do you think about that?
I don't think so. I think, what do you call it? You know, there's stuff that, you know, that needs to be done.
Yeah.
But there's also, you know, I guess sometimes I can get, you know, upset about it and say, well, you know, maybe she could have done it or something like this. And then I say to myself, then I look and, you know, but you can see, you know, I could see, you know, that she's in pain. You know, she's, you know, usually like if she's up, she usually gets up and everything is like, I mean, like spotless. You know, she goes bananas. You know, but when she's not up, she's down. She's sleeping. It's not like she's like, you know, playing or, a game on a computer or something like that or whatever, and there's things to be done or anything like this. So there's clues.
Yeah. Right.
There's certain clues that you can look at and say, okay, well, I'm not saying that she doesn't take the day off every once in a while, because she does.
Right.
I do.
Yeah.
Like I'll walk through the door and I'll be like, I'm here, but I'm not. Just leave me alone. I just,
Yeah.
I gotta, stare into space or sleep or something, something. But we've all had those days.
Yeah.
Where you just want to do something, or I have something scheduled that I need to do.
Right.
Maybe there's something at home that I need to do that that is not part of her stuff, because she has her own stuff and I got my own stuff. That's like typical like housework and what's not. We're a team in the house.
Yeah. Today we were a team.
There's nobody's particular thing saying like there's nothing saying there's nothing saying that's because I suck at the
Well, no.
I'll give her a dirty shirt and it'll come out clean. I'll put a dirty shirt in there, and no matter what the hell I do with it, it'll come back out dirty. Or not as nice as what the hell she does. And I don't know what she does. I just say, here, do it, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then and then everything comes out the way it's supposed to be. I'm not gonna lie and say that I'm gonna do it better, because I don't.
Yeah.
So
we've been married for so long. So there's just certain things that I do, and I don't mind doing them. Like if I ask him to do stuff, sometimes he just doesn't do it the way I would do it, so I'll just do it. It's simpler. It's simple. So, but with that, like, how do you feel like with our life itself? Like we can't really make plans to do stuff.
What do you mean?
Well, because I never know if I'm going to feel good or if I'm going to be able to walk around. Because I have neuropathy also in my feet, so it's very hard for me to like walk far distances or walk for a really long time. So we're limited in what we can do right now.
It all depends on what it is, because most of the time we just go into the store anyway. We haven't been like we haven't gone to the beach because look at the beautiful weather we haven't had.
It's gonna rain again.
It's like unbelievable. It's like it's rained every single like day I have off.
Yeah.
So I'm not even thinking about it. Like I'm like actually very depressed lately.
Yeah.
Because I haven't even been to this. Look at this. I've never been this white in the summer ever in my entire life.
Yeah.
I'm usually like a lot a lot more vitamin D now.
Yes.
So
I've actually been taking vitamin D because it's just.
I think I'm gonna have to too. I'm gonna have to go to the doctor and get that.
Yeah, he was getting those pills. And they were strong.
Because I feel like poo-poo. Actually, I haven't been feeling good. I feel depressed because of the what do you call it, the weather, and I'm getting used to this different schedule. It's not that it's a bad schedule. It's actually a good schedule. It's just that the problem is that it's a 2 on, 2 off, 2 on, 2 off, 3 on, 3 off, 2 off, and then it rotates again.
Ooh,
So
30 turkeys.
So yeah.
Yeah. So it's just like life has been hard for everybody, right? I think this is like the worst summer, really.
Yeah, I've never had a summer like this ever. I don't think I've ever had a summer like this in my life. This summer is horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible, just completely horrible.
Yeah.
So it's like, and I look forward to the summer. And what sucks is that what do you call it? The winter is going to be
so long.
It is horrible.
Yeah, they're so long.
Already. So it's like you're depressed in the wintertime and you can understand it.
Yeah, but
it just keeps on going and going and going and going.
If we were opposite right now, that would be like in Texas, or they're 100 degrees right now. It's so
but that's
weather.
I wouldn't be in Texas if any.
I'm just saying.
You know what I mean? Because it's not that I wouldn't want to, that I don't like Texas.
Yeah.
It's just that what do you call it? I'm here because of the ocean.
Yeah.
So if I was going to move down south, it would be down south. It would be like Florida or Georgia or something like that. It wouldn't be anything
Well,
you know, Delaware down.
Yeah, you like the water.
You know, that's what it was. You know, and I don't care for the West Coast
Yeah.
in any way, shape, or form.
I don't like Texas.
Maybe Montana.
So I think the next one that we'll do will be more about our relationship, because I think that's what people want to hear mostly. You know, I just want to get like how he felt about getting a diagnosis. It took so long for us to actually get the diagnosis, and you know, like we try to keep a stress-free house as much as possible, because that's one of the effects for me. If I get too stressed out, I just go into like a flare, which is no good. So we do try to work together as a team as much as that we can, but I don't want to put a bunch of stuff on a man that works 12-hour shifts. You know, I just don't want to do that. So I tend to tell him to leave it and I'll get it. So, but sometimes that leaving it is a couple days before I get to it. So,
But that's the thing is, what do you call it? So then, you know, I'm not gonna let it go for a couple of days.
yeah.
You know, so it's like,
yeah. Well, the most important thing is always.
I mean, that'd be like something stupid, like, you know, because like we'll maybe the dishes or something like that.
Yeah. Well, we don't have a dishwasher.
You know.
It's all hand wash, so you know. And I don't seem to cook a lot anymore. I used to cook way more than what I do. When we were keto, that's all I did was cook. I made bread, I made rolls, I made all kinds
I
of
do
stuff.
I do most of the cooking anyway.
So yeah, so now he does all the cooking. So that's one plus. So, and that's it, really. So the next one is going to be more, because we just wanted to see. And also, if you have any questions, put them down below so that we can answer those questions, especially if you're going through an illness.
I'll try to do it as best as I can. I know there's other guys out there that, you know, that are going through the same situation. And, you know.
Well, that will be more about the relationship, because you actually have some friends whose husbands, I mean, your male
Wives.
friends and their wives are sick, and how they look at their relationship.
Yeah,
And,
it's
yeah.
You know,
So we'll get
you
into
got different perspectives from different people.
right.
My outlook is different than someone else's may be.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah. So we'll definitely get into the relationship part, and then you leave your questions down below, and we will try to get to each and every one of them. And if they're a little too personal, we'll just say that this was the question, but it was a little too personal. And if not, you can always email me if you don't want to put your question down below. You can email me. I won't say your name. You can just email me at pamslife@comcast.net, and I will gladly answer your questions if you want me to. Again, we're not experts. We're just two people trying to live the best we can with what we have. So, all right, guys, thank you so much. I didn't want to make it too long, but thank you so much, guys, for tuning in and always caring. We appreciate each and every one of you. All right, guys, we'll